Continue from your last save. Yes.
DLC notes. Okay. Well, I looked it up and I found out where it is. Go to the arena wizard. Keep showing them. Did I remember things like this? Find a statue outside. Ah. That's Morehouse. You know, the one that's supposed to be the divine bull of Kine.
Oh.
They changed him to be human during the Elysian Order, where they're like, yeah, Saint Alessia did not, in fact, have sex with a giant bull and make minotaurs. But the fact that Morehouse is the son of Kine. You know, Kennereth.
Okay.
It's like, why would you? Like, he's divine. He's of divine blood. It's like, no. But like the Elysian Order is basically like the Spanish Inquisition style of stuff, where it's like if you don't, like, basically self-correcting religion to be what they want it to be. I need to stream as I had it open for the chat. I'm watching. And yeah, the delay is a lot less on this. So I said we are going to be walking to the
Yeah.
next quest.
Yep, that's why I fast traveled to the fort that I got. Yeah.
Did
Well,
you go in there at all?
no, I have not gotten it.
You gotta remember, everything in this game is level 2. So,
Alright, might as well.
like, to the point of almost obnoxiousness, where, like, once you get, you will hit hard breaks in levels where enemies will just stop spawning, like certain types, and like only this type will spawn now, which really doesn't help the idea of seeing your progression, like how strong you become.
Am I supposed to be in?
Oh, yeah. This is yours.
But honestly, I think I'm gonna check because I know in Skyrim the unofficial patch fixes that. Oh,
Damn it.
which do you prefer? This type of lockpicking or Skyrim's? Or Morrowind's where you just kind of poke at it and hope the dice rolls for you.
Skyrim.
Okay. So the one they use for all their games now?
Yep.
Oh, except for Starfield. Honestly, that one got really annoying pretty quick. Because it's the only one. There's no, like, there's no, like, hacking and lockpicking. It's just that. Like, after a while, it just kind of like, okay. Because it's just pattern matching. Honestly, for me, it's once you get a certain amount of lockpicks, just auto attempt. Like, it's not worth trying to do it sometimes.
Right.
Yeah, if anything, like, don't worry about it. Because that's, like, long-term game stuff. Like, the idea of, like, in original, like, I might have told you this before for Morrowind, where it's like, if you're going to play a long game of that one, you close every door behind you, because it's one less thing that save has to remember.
Right.
But, did you come up with any stuff at all to ask? Or do you just expect to outsource that to everyone else?
Nope. I went with the most obvious themed question for Oblivion is, obviously I'm not in a location that deals with it. Fuck. Is the, who are the, huh?
Are you talking about that? What's in the Oblivion gates or what?
No, who/what are the aliens?
Oh, the Iliads are they're also that's referred to as a Highland elf, and they're just like offshoots of like the China, like how there's snow elves and like deep elves, the Dwemer, and like things like that. And back when Cyrodiil used to be a jungle, which it used to be, but when Tiber Septim ascended to godhood, he's like, I'll change it to a green forest place where it's like nice to live.
More habitable.
Hospitable, yeah. But the Iliads are basically just a faction of elves that mostly, like, for example, like their main examples of like the 4 elements in nature were like air, water, earth, and light. And they used light in the sense that that because fire was a perversion of light.
Huh.
It's the idea that a fire only makes light. So that means it is not a pure example of an element. So it's like they use light, and from that, they basically worship like stars and like the sun and things like that. One of their main deities was blanking on a fucking name.
Mirrodin?
Meridia.
Meridia, sorry. Another hand has touched the beacon.
Yep. To the point where one of their main warriors like literally the person who stood up against Parental Light Strike was her son, Umarol the Unfeathered.
Hmm. Okay. As a reminder, how does leveling up work?
You have to sleep.
Okay.
And they, like when the Elysian, like when Saint Alessia basically united all the slaves together and destroyed them with the help of Planiel and Morehouse and stuff like that, they deserved 100% of what they had coming. Like they basically like treated slaves like shit. They basically 100% slaves were there for their personal enjoyment of like, we use your body to make like macabre art, like we use you for entertainment, for like watch you kill each other, like things like that. We use you for slave labor like animals. They did not care. It's the idea that to the Eliads, humans were animals.
Okay.
And basically it's the idea that the gods saw that and were like, yeah, enough of that. Because like your main deity is a Daedra, who Meridia is not a full Daedra even. She's a Magna G that came back.
The fuck's a
And
Magna G?
Magna G there's Magnus. He's one of the ancient spirits who went, like, he was the Grand Architect of Nirn with Lorcain. And when he found out that Lorcain was, what he was doing was basically sacrificing all the old spirits to make Nirn, he's like, I'm leaving, and made the sun a hole through Aetherius. And when the other lesser spirits found that as well, they left as well, making the stars. And those are called the Magna G.
Okay.
So the stars are punched like holes in Aetherius to the like outer area of like reality.
All right. Give me a second. I gotta go check on Gavin.
No problem.
All right.
But yeah, that's a good level up right there. And as you might notice, how luck does not have a plus, because there are no skills that are tied with luck, so the max you can ever do with luck is 1 per level.
Yep.
But luck really isn't as important. Yeah, endurance +5, always good to see.
Well, that's part of the reason why it's the only reason I still have armor on.
Oh yeah. I'd say getting it to 50 would be like the ideal.
All right.
But okay, but yeah, the Magna G are basically the lesser spirits that left with Magnus and made the stars.
Okay.
And Meridia is a Magna G that came back and then got kicked out of Aetherius because she did that. So she's like, okay, and became the equivalent of a Daedra. And like that's why her whole thing is like light and like the killing of undead and things like that.
Okay. That was a pretty quick one.
Yeah, like honestly, like, and it's not like Skyrim where they have like exits that are different from the entrance. Like usually you'll have to backtrack quite a bit for some dungeons. Because like once you get to the end, you just gotta turn right around and leave. also like the Iliad, the ones that were left over that weren't like basically slaughtered by a perennial white strike, uh, basically were allowed to stay if they stopped all like the really bad shit they were doing, and most did. Uh, and then some went off to High Rock and interbred with the Need, which are like a type of Nord, I believe, and became Bretons over generations of interbreeding. And that's why Bretons are actually half elves, like in lore, but like they're more human. Because like for other scrolls, human and elf can interbreed, but elves and humans cannot breed with the beast races like Khajiits and Argonians, and then those two can't interbreed at all. And the races that can't interbreed, the race would always be the one of the mother.
Okay.
So it's the idea that like it takes many generations of interbreeding between elves and humans to make the Bretons.
Found a corpse.
That's zombies.
It had a name.
Oh, okay.
Nath Dyer. He had a note that basically said, next time you see me, I will be holding a primrose leaf. Which,
He was.
yep.
I mean, the note didn't lie.
Let me.
I like one of the things I like for video games for that, where playing Far Cry 3, anywhere there was grass, you could go up. You know what I mean? Like, if there was grass up a path, you could walk up that.
Yeah.
And that was very helpful for figuring out which paths you could actually take and not just, like, slam your face against a geometry trying to walk up a hill.
You're like, oh, I'm gonna go. Nope, that's a rock.
Yep. And now you go, like, completely lost the road.
Do you really think I ever travel by road?
Nope. Yeah, it's like, why? Whatever.
It also adds a challenge because there are times when I can run into stuff that I probably shouldn't.
Yeah. I think I see a cave over there. Or is that just a rock? Nope, I think that is a cave. Nope, just
Rock.
weird shadow. Problem is, I have a hard, like I've said before, I have a hard time just thinking of stuff by myself.
No, did you answer the why the aliens are gone, or?
Oh, they're technically not gone. They just kind of interbred with the Bretons. So like they're still like around, but it's the idea that they basically like there was no biological difference between them and the High Elves.
Ah, okay.
Really, like they were High Elves. It was just that they were a subvariant of High Elves. Like not to the point of being like the Dwemer and like the Snow Elves, where they like had physically different appearances. Like at most, I think they had like tan skin instead of gold, maybe.
Okay.
Because you meet a High Elf who says he's like the descendants of like the Iliad.
Okay.
Iliad.
I think I remembered that character, but
Yeah.
I don't remember where the fuck you meet
You
him.
encounter him in Morrowind, I believe, if he's the same character, which is the same name. But yeah, it was more just like they just kind of became like different races, or just like became part of other races, like the Bretons and the High Elves.
Basically, one of those things where it's like because of
It was
how
it was
time
it was
works.
yeah, it was also the idea it was more of a culture than a race, at least like from what I can tell. And then like yeah, a lot of their imagery is like eagle stuff. 'Cause it's like if you look at a lot of the statues, it's all like eagle, like feathers and eagles and things like that.
Okay.
But yeah, like for examples of like some of the stuff they've done, like that was awful. Uh, they would like they had uh, flesh crafting that they basically would do where they would make, like I said, art with human bodies that they would leave on display for the slaves to see.
Ugh.
Yeah. So it's the idea. It's like, hey, look, we can do whatever we want with you. It's like you're nothing. And we see how well that turned out for them.
Yeah.
Eventually. So it's like that's why I'm like, yeah, they deserve to be slaughtered.
Yeah, basically deserved to not be around anymore.
Yeah, just like this verse. We will destroy your cultural foundation. Yeah, like the whole idea is that they worship light and like starlight, like basically any form of pure light, and that's why they have those the Iliad wells, which harness uh, ambient starlight and basically allow you to. It's basically like a form of mana.
Yeah. Basically a manual to kind of
Recharges every day or every night, and they have the like the Welkin stones, which recharge your mana, and then the Valara stones, which recharge magic weapons.
So, the forts that kind of dot Cyrodiil that are kind of like,
Those are probably just like old Imperial forts.
okay,
Like the Iliad have like the white marble style, like the Imperial City kind of coloring.
okay.
Like they're very noticeable. Also, they're full of traps for fucking reasons. I mean, it's like, just like the Dwemer. It's just like fucking crazy elf people.
We're paranoid, so we're going to trap our own areas. Fucking. Oh, this has multiple areas.
That some places do.
Alright, we're going to the stockade. Oh, hey.
Oh, you want to know something interesting I found out like a couple years ago about the goblins?
Yeah.
They have their own faction system, like separate from you. Where to the point where if you go and find their goblin shaman staffs and put them somewhere, that tribe will go find it and fight for it. And if you put that, like, if you put two of them like next to each other and they encounter each other, they will fight each other.
That's fucking great.
Yeah, and like apparently, like very few people knew about this because it was just so like
Not.
it's hard to have found naturally because what it requires is members of that individual tribe to still be alive.
Oh.
So it's like you have to go in there and either I think it's steal the staff without killing the shaman, or kill the shaman, take the staff, and leave. But like, who's gonna do that in these types of games? This is go clear the dungeon, take the treasure, and leave. I'm telling you, like, once you get to a point where you have enough of them, which is like auto,
Okay.
or if you just go get the skeleton key. Because in this game, it's an unbreakable lockpick. I mean, it's an unbreakable lockpick in Skyrim as well, but which honestly kind of sucked for Morrowind because it was a grandmaster quality lockpick that had like it only just had a lot of charges to use. It wasn't
Yeah. It was
it's
like, fuck.
okay. And it was supposed in like Skyrim, it's supposed to be like the end reward for the Thieves Guild. One thing I hope they bring back, which they kind of did for Fallout 4 and Starfield, is I want factions that are actively at war with each other that you can't join both.
Yeah.
Because like in Morrowind, it was either join the Fighters Guild or join the Thieves Guild, because their quests interline against each other eventually. To the point where you basically have to kill the leaders of the other one. And then like in Starfield, there's like the military police and the Crimson Fleet, which are like pirates. And the Marines are basically like their quest line for them is you infiltrating and basically being a covert operative inside the Crimson Fleet. But you can also double cross them and just be a member of the Crimson Fleet. And then like in Fallout 4, you can just be like, yeah, I'm working with this group, but like I'm also working for this group. And eventually, you know.
Yeah, no, I like the factions thing. I've always have.
Yeah. And like I've seen people like be like, why is every Skyrim faction's questline end with like
You're the leader.
You killed the boss and you're the leader. And I've like it's like the idea. It's like they literally explain it to you in the game. Dragons are pulled towards control and domination, and you're the Dragonborn. So it's like it's the idea that it is in your very nature to control and want to lead. And
Fucking hey, this thing's beating the shit out of me.
Oh yeah. Actually, like, goblins are one of the few enemies that will infinitely level with you, eventually. Which means eventually once they get to the point where you get to, like, the max level ones, their health just keeps going up and up and up. So, like, eventually it becomes just, like, a fucking slog to fight them. Because it's just HP sponges.
So basically, super mutants from Fallout.
Yeah, like, I hate infinite level health scaling. Like, I'd honestly prefer a level cap, and either that or no health scaling.
Yeah.
Or level scaling for health. But, also, do you know what the Amulet of Kings is?
No, actually, like, I don't really know what it is.
It is a drop of Akatosh's blood given to Saint Alessia as the covenant between them and the Divines.
Wow.
And spoilers for a like 20-year-old game, anywhere, when Martin breaks it, he combines his he's a septum, so like kind of divine blood with actual divine blood and becomes the avatar of Akatosh. Because like the Emulate of Kings, once I think it's the Dragon Fires in the Imperial City is lit with the new Emperor, it's what causes other Daedra to not be able to come in and conquer them. Which is like when that covenant's broken with the Emperor's death and no heir to relight the Dragon Fires is why the Oblivion Crisis happens. And I believe that is also why I forget what it's called in ESO, but like why Cold Harbor starts to merge with Nirn.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, I barely played ESO.
The issue with ESO is that like it kind of, yeah, it kind of also like rewrites some of the stuff too.
Yeah, a bit.
But that's why I kind of consider ESO its own Elder Scrolls universe.
I mean, even that is technically canon.
Yeah.
For ESO stuff. Yeah, I've been trying to go back and read some of the books for Elder Scrolls stuff. Mostly starting with like the skill books, because usually those are the more interesting stories. And like there's one where it's like a guy talking about how it's like talking to a battle mage about how destruction is not really a school, and how it should just all be alteration or conjuration kind of like. And it's like the idea of like mages getting into semantics over what constitutes how they're summoning their magic. It's like by definition, all things should be alteration because you're altering reality.
Like you're not wrong with that one.
Or it's like you're summoning a fireball. That is conjuration. It's like, jeez.
That's what happens when you get a bunch of fucking spellcasters.
Fucking nerds.
Yeah. Semantics. Semantics.
Yeah, big surprise. A bunch of nerds talk about semantics. I don't do that at all. But also, I found, like, I remember one of my favorite ones that, like, I used, the locked room, where it's basically like a locksmith is sick and tired of her, like, teacher. Because he's like, yeah, you can't make locks as well as I can. You can't make locks as well as I can. So she locks him in a room and it's like, you try and escape that. And he tries and tries and tries. And she's like, well, you better hurry up because there's someone in there with you. And there's a coffin in there with him. And she's like, you have until the sun comes up to get out of there. And yeah, it's like, so he basically he can't get out of the lock she made, thus proving she's better than him, and he dies to a vampire.
That's fucking great. Ah, what the fuck? Ow, ow, ow.
You sprung a trap. It's hard to see. I mean, that's why you're supposed to use lights. You have a light spell.
Oh, hey, look, an arrow.
We have multiple tabs for spells. Oh yeah, spell. No, I guess not. I thought alteration gave away the spell. If anything, I think you can use a torch to block. But I'm not sure if that was a Skyrim thing or just. It's like, I wonder if something's trapped around here. Like dead bodies around the chest.
It's also one of those things like, where's the fucking trigger? Like, what's the trigger?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, unless it's resetting trap, they might have triggered it.
Hello, mud crab. Do me a favor.
Trigger the trap.
Oh, come on.
It's like, no, I see it. I think it's the idea that because it's a hitbox, it can't get past it. You can also click on the log. This is
Ah!
easier. It's like, haha. Worst trap ever. Okay, we're just gonna stand there.
I mean, yeah.
Also, I'm gonna tell you, electricity is the best element in this game. Because the predominant number of enemies you fight, being Daedra, have a weakness to it. With only one of them being me. Which, you know, you can probably guess which one that is.
Okay. So what you're telling me is I need to get a ranged electric spell.
Yeah, a ranged electric spell in general is pretty good. And remember, this game still has spellcrafting, but it's restricted to like either doing the DLC Spire quest, like the Mage's Tower one, and getting in for it, like having to go buy it, or becoming a full member of the Mage's
Guild. Alright, well.
Like, you've already been here. There's a dead body. Also, yeah, like that's one thing. Because Oblivion's dungeons are less linear, it's easier to get lost. Also, I'm gonna check mini.
Pay up, or else we can.
Check the highwayman.
Arm this hands. Jump on my sword.
Ah!
I think that's just a wandering guy. You guys gotta bound the axe. Well, I guess that guy wasn't friendly because your skeleton killed him. Unless you accidentally hit him or something.
Not sure.
Oh, either way. You didn't get a bounty for it. And unlike Skyrim, it doesn't have the thing where people have to see it for it to count.
Fuck you.
Yeah, it's
Who is this? A random conjurer.
So, no name. Oh, hey, you can learn Soul Trap. That's one of the DLCs, the Spell Tomes. Which
Oh.
I really like. Oh, it's a health damage Soul Trap. That's actually pretty neat.
Cool.
That would be cool as a touch spell.
Yeah, it is a touch spell, so. So that's pretty fucking decent.
But
Yeah. But I wasn't sure if you were going to be available, just because I didn't know how your sleep was going to be.
oh, yeah, you're lucky I remembered because I almost went to sleep.
Yeah, I mean, it would have been one of those things where it's like if you weren't online after a certain point, I would have streamed something else.
Yeah. But yeah, one of the main issues with how Oblivion's dungeons were designed was because they were made by like a handful of people, and one guy had to make 20 dungeons in a week.
Oh fuck.
Yeah, which is why you get a lot of repeats for dungeons for like Oblivion.
Thing is, like, I like when it comes to like the forts and stuff, I wouldn't care
Yeah, like
about
that
repeats because that makes
a little
sense. Yeah.
Because it's like kind of standard architecture for most of them, or at least a similar style.
Yeah.
But like when you have like copy pasted,
Like caves. Yeah.
yeah. Stealing farmers' crops.
I mean, gotta level up my alchemy.
It's no money. He's not watching me.
Also, it's not red. It's not stealing.
Yeah, it's not stealing. Technically not stealing. There are ones I believe you can find that might be stealing.
But yeah, so
Thrilling gameplay. That's all that comes to my brain when I sometimes when I'm like playing by myself and I'm like doing random stupid shit. I'm like, wow, exciting.
I mean, like when I'm playing Fallout 4 and all I'm doing is building settlements
Yeah.
for no reason.
People watch people stream The Sims. I don't know.
Well, like the way I view like The Sims being watched as a stream is that it's more like a just chatting with something to watch.
Yeah. Yeah. How is up here? Roughly 7 people designed all the dungeons in Oblivion.
Ugh.
Yeah. Thankfully, they upped that number by a bit for Skyrim.
$46. 46 carrots.
Okay. Get all those store fatigue potions. 'Cause that's all you're gonna get from regular food. Until you get to like the later ones. Yeah, you can make carrots. You can make Mad Eye. There you go. Just out there cooking in the middle of the night. This is basically actually, this is not even cooking. This is grinding stuff up and eating it.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're just making powders. All you have is a mortar and pestle. That's all you can make.
I'm making weird pastes.
Yeah.
Sweet. Oh, hey, I leveled up.
Cool.
That's not gonna happen for a bit, though.
Farm to see if it's like. I'm pretty sure that's someone's living there. But I know there are some that are just empty. Nope, that's.
That is Occupado. Oh, yeah. No. Like, this thing, like, for me, like, it's kind of the part of the reason that I posted on Discord to have question area is it's the actively having to think of questions to ask.
Yeah. Also, the main issue is that some people don't know what questions to ask because they don't know enough about the background stuff for the Elder Scrolls.
Yeah.
Because like a lot of the Elder Scrolls stuff is very front facing, like kind of like in the way, where like most people just play it for the gameplay. Kind of thing.
Yeah. No, it's well. That's why. It's one of those things where it's like going forward.
Good morning. Welcome to Wayne and I'm Prior
Is
Mayfield,
basically be like
head of
ask
Academy,
questions.
and
If
responsible
they're
for
on the
all our
Discord,
religious
what we'll
and
do is
secular
we'll
affairs.
figure out a way to mark them as we answered them.
Yeah.
Our order. Surely you have heard of us. If not,
Oh, they're the Order of Tal. So they're like a religious order.
Mhm. Yeah. Well, it's
Yeah.
he's Prior
Wayne and Brother
Memorel, and then
Pioneer,
there's
Father Joffrey, and Erano.
like they're basically friars.
I don't trust you enough
Like-
to talk about.
They don't do it as
I
much
don't
in like
trust-
the later games, but in
I'm listening.
Daggerfall, you would when you join a church, you wouldn't just be like, "Oh, I worship the eight divines." You'd be like, "I'm a member of this church. Like I'm a member of the Church of Julianus, or like I'm a member of the
Please.
Church of Akatos."
I'm embarrassed, but thank you. Good one.
Like this one is you have to look at their facial expression,
I doubt it.
and you want
Don't
to
make me
keep
laugh.
the big part away from the bad one, because they always have like a good, a bad, and an even thing.
Right.
So like, yeah,
Yeah, I get it.
you, admire because that's the one he likes.
Please. I'm embarrassed, but thank you. What a fool. Yeah, right. You're
It's
good.
fucking weird.
Yeah, I have never really liked the speech in Oblivion.
I like the
Is-
speech in Morrowind because he'd be like, "Hey,
Excuse me.
fight me, fight!"
Can
And
I
he
help
just
you?
keep taunting
Are
people
you
until
looking
they
for
fought
Prior
you.
Mabel?
Yeah, it's just like, oh,
But it basically boiled down to doing that or bribing people into
I
liking
think
you.
he's
So it's
sleeping,
like,
but it must be
how
important.
much of gameplay really is that at the end of the day?
right.
Yeah, I think all this stuff is going to be stealing until you talk to Joffrey.
I'm Brother Joffrey. What do you want?
The Emperor sent me to find you.
Do you know something about his death? You brought me the Amulet of Kings? This cannot be. Let me see it. By
Like, no,
the nine. This is the Amulet of Kings. Who are you? How did you get this? What do you know of the Emperor's death? As
Boom.
unlikely as your story sounds, I believe you. Only the strange destiny of Uriel Septim could have brought you to me carrying the
yeah, it's
Amulet
like,
of
Septims are
Kings.
weird, but
It's like, yeah.
it's like, yeah, they were always weird. So I'll
The Prince of
believe you.
Destruction he referred to is none other than Mehrunes Dagon, one of the lords of the demonic world of Oblivion. The Emperor's words, "Close shut the jaws of Oblivion," certainly suggest that he perceived some threat from Oblivion. But all the scholars agree that the mortal world is protected from the Daedra of Oblivion by magical barriers.
Which those are gone at the moment.
Yeah, because the Dragonfire isn't lit, because the Emperor is
I'm
dead.
not sure.
Ah,
Only the emperors truly understand the meaning. The Amulet of Kings is ancient. Saint Alicia herself received it from the gods. It is a holy relic of great power.
Yeah, to the point
When
where
an emperor
it
is
is
crowned, he
so
uses the amulet
linked
to
to
light the
Imperial
dragon
bloodline,
fires at the
you,
Temple of
a
the
normal
One
person
in
can
the
even put it
Imperial
on.
City. With the emperor dead and no new, it may be that the dragon fires protected us from a threat that only the emperor was aware of. I am one of the few who know of his existence. Many years ago, one night Uriel called me. He never told me anything. Now it seems that this,
Okay, go find my bat.
His name is
bastard
Martin.
son.
yeah.
he serves Akatosh in the chapel in the city of Kvatch.
Which-
you must go to Kvatch and find
Because
him.
he
And
did,
please,
it saved.
let me know
like,
if there's
Nern.
anything.
So it's like, yeah, like okay. It's like meaning more than likely he
Waste
knew what he was
no
doing.
time. You must find Martin before the enemy comes.
But that chest right there, there's stuff for you. Yeah, I think if you ask him.
Who?
Oh, ask him first.
Your first priority. I keep a few things here in my chest to resupply traveling blades.
There we go.
There you go. Yeah, it's not much, but so you're not getting any issues like lag on the stream or anything, right?
Not that I've been notified for, so.
Okay, that's good. So honestly, as long as it doesn't become an issue, I think you screen sharing on Discord would be the best option because I'm getting a lot less like delay on it.
I'm the shepherd here. Well, I normally... But go ahead and take this hammer. You might have use of it. Well, we both...
Yeah, if you talk to each of them, they give you something.
But yeah,
The
definitely.
guy inside and the guy.
Greetings,
Oh,
Imperial.
both of you.
What? Things go from bad to worse nowadays. Priests.
Oh,
Yep. The
Here,
9 divines.
perhaps you go into danger.
Or the divine crusader.
Goodbye. I know that you are on an important mission for the blades. Please, if you need a...
Yep, get
Go
a horse
with-
for free.
thank you for the horse.
And if you want to use it, it's in the stables out back.
I know.
Through there. Okay.
And this is. This.
Coral.
Coral. Okay.
Coral.
Coral.
And you can pick up sell all the stuff you looted from
Yep.
people you've murdered in self-defense after going into where they were staying. Like the
Welcome
ambiguity
to
of
Kor.
adventuring is kind of weird.
Keep your
sometimes.
nose clean, and we'll be good friends.
It's like I went into these people where these people were living and killed them and took all their stuff and left.
Yeah, I'm the
Do you
good
want to buy
guy.
it? Do you want to buy it? It's like, okay.
Like, basically, it's like, I'm going to sell you something. And it's just like,
Don't ask where it came from.
I'm only asking for it. Thank you. Blessings of
Like one of
agriculture.
my, like there's an animated thing from Skyrim where it's like a bunch of guards are harassing the Dragonborn, and he's like, do you really want to do this? It's like, are you really gonna make this an issue?
Welcome to the
He's like,
open
of course. And he just hard cuts to the Dragonborn throwing a bunch of guard
A little
armor
food
onto the
and drink will do you some good.
like the store's counter. He's like, how much are you gonna give me for this? It's just like,
it's
okay.
like,
That's just not
oh, duh.
me. You got
It's like, I can't buy that. Takes away one. Okay, I'll buy that.
It's like, oh, yes, I can buy that. It's like,
you got a great
That's the
deal
guy.
there.
Yeah, remember, they only buy stuff that they actually want. Which I like, because it's the idea of like, why would they want to buy things that they're not going to be able to like or sell back, kind of thing.
yeah.
Thank
Maybe
you
you can
for
look
your
for-
patronage.
If she's an alchemist, you might be able to buy alchemy stuff from her.
Have a look
Oh,
at
there's a
my
bunch
bag.
of stuff. Like,
I'm sure there's something to suit you.
I could, but at this point,
Not worth it.
well, I'm not. Feel like I don't want to buy a whole bunch of stuff, then make a whole
Yeah,
bunch
you
of
could-
potions, and then
Make sweet roll potions. It just kind of like I can understand why they switched to food being food and not alchemy.
yeah.
It's a little weird. It's like, all right, I'm gonna mix this cake with this other cake and make a potion from it. It's like, so you're. It's like, hey, guess what? It restores fatigue. I'm just drinking sugar, aren't I?
Let's hear.
It's like, yes, you are. It's like, look, guys, I made an energy drink. No waiting in the air. You have to find a place where there's no air. Go wait there.
Just walking.
It's because you were falling when you walked backwards.
Like the second it happened, it's like I'm literally falling off like a foot ledge.
Like, your feet were not touching the ground, sir.
Hello.
It's like being like, I'm in a fast travel while I'm jumping.
Oh, hey,
Pay
training.
attention, and you can learn a lot.
That's a good one. 100 gold each, though. And then I think it goes up. It's not as bad as Skyrim, where like
Knowledge
it goes
is the
up
key
after
to
you get like to a
success
certain
in
level.
any endeavor.
So like training is always
You've
useful,
got
like helpful.
Knowledge is knowledge. There's much I can.
So you've already got the +5 to
I offer the finest goods and lowest prices in all.
Peter,
That's more than I usually pay.
I think. Or is it like 2 per? Let me check.
I can fix whatever you. Can I interest you in some of my wares?
Also, major and minor, like major skills, level faster than minor skills.
All right.
Farewell.
There is a question gift from this person. Like in here. Not the person who just entered, but
Hello,
the owner.
I don't think we've met. Are you new in town?
Yep.
Likewise, I'm always glad to meet someone new. Welcome. My mother owns this. Valena
Oh, wait.
Danton
Not
just
yet.
hasn't been
Is,
the same.
She's still here.
Go ahead.
It's the quest is
Only
to go
the
find
finest wares to buy and barter at no.
her. So I guess it's you have to leave and come back. If anything. So you
Have
to
a look
go on.
around. You won't find better prices in all Tambria.
Yeah, just like Skyrim, the best person to sell to is the general merchant because I think they buy everything.
The warp in the west.
Joffrey gave it to you, I believe. I think.
That's more than I'd use.
You can sell those other notes.
Oh, the.
Yeah. Because, like, it gives you a key to the place.
Oh, okay.
And, like, that's a quest item, I believe, so you can't drop those. Yeah, apparently you're related to a bunch of people who, like,
You
who
drive
inherited
a
a bunch of
hard
stuff from.
bargain.
Apparently. Maybe sell some of your 30 stamina potions.
Oh no, I just sold my other ones.
Oh, okay.
Because I hate that, like, oh, it's does 6 points, but the timing is different. So I was like,
because you were a little bit stronger when you made it.
yep.
If anything, maybe look for like alchemy potions. You know, make them a little bit better. No.
Tell your knowledge is the key to success in any endeavor.
Oh, that's right. You can only trade.
And okay, but only 5 per level.
All right. Oh, with the leveling from alchemy and the leveling from
Greetings.
doing repair.
Yeah.
Anytime.
There was
What?
a really like a weird post I
There's
saw where
one-
it's like there is an
The room
NPC.
is
or
upstairs,
it's an NPC
first
who is
door
a
to the
baker
left.
in this
Sleep
game.
well.
Where if you reverse pickpocket bread
He's
into their
here.
inventory, and he goes to the bar, like the inn to eat, he'll eat it and crash the game.
Really?
Yeah. And that's one thing I like about this game is that like people will find like they're like I'm hungry, find food. Go eat food. Like they do stuff like that. And like there's also it's not even just that where it's like, oh, I'm a hunter, I'm gonna go hunting. Or it's like, or there's one also that where it's like, I'm a skooma addict, I want skooma. This person has skooma, I have no morals to what I do to get it, I'm gonna kill them. Which is why there's an NPC in the base game that has a quest, but most people have not done it because he's in a skooma den, has skooma, and is not essential. And will frequently just get murdered for it.
Alright, that's 2 level ups.
So it's like, yeah, it's like the idea that while NPC conversation is really fucking janky and weird, where it's like 2 people with the same voice having a weird conversation that has no real interconnecting like minds to like what they're talking about. It's just random things they're saying. But then it's like, oh, here's the schedule for this person, and it's like they do this and they go here and they do, and it's like, and then I think they also have ones where it's like they have different schedules for different days.
Actually, can you handle...
It just crashed.
No, it did not.
Oh, thank God.
I don't know if you can see it or not. Somebody tried to post a cheap viewers.
How do I... Is it slash...
Ban.
I got it. Slash ban... what's their username?
IKARIA21. Alright.
Okay. Can I delete their message?
It's not, it didn't post it because it's labeled as,
Okay. Alright, then let's ignore it.
Yep. The only reason that I do it is just because I don't want...
Save. Save. Thank you. Because like when I thought it crashed, I'm like, oh no. Because like it, like from my perspective, it just went straight to like. The
Yeah, some games do not like you exiting out of them to do something else.
Oh, and this is definitely one of them. I'm gonna tell you.
So.
You should make, if anything, I think, but I don't think you have much money, do you? You should like bought a better weapon. You should.
Not really, because I spent it on training.
Okay, but the endurance is worth it.
Yep. That's the only reason I did it. I'm like, this is armor.
Like it'll pay off later. But like, also you gotta remember like, the level max is basically to be almost the same as it was for Morrowind, where it's like level 25.
Oh, really?
Around, yeah. Because remember, only class skills make you level up. But there is a way to gain infinite levels by going to prison.
Oh, because you can...
Because for every day you are in prison, it reduces a skill by 1. Of like a random skill, I think.
Fucking chicks.
Man.
What the fuck was that?
An imp. Those are imps.
No.
I couldn't see it.
Somebody on horseback.
Oh, just probably some random person. Like I said, like before, it's like people go places and do stuff. It usually results in them dying eventually. Because like eventually you will be high enough level where the thing that spawns that they're supposed to kill is too strong for them.
Oh, there you go.
Yep.
Draw a conjuration. Let's go see what's in this mine that's been pillaged, apparently.
I mean, it's right next to the city. What do you expect?
True. What? Why you do the thing?
Idle animation. Oh look, more goblins. Yeah, I was gonna tell you, like one of the ways to level up is to just spam skill, like use for like spells. Like you just go everywhere casting like armor on yourself.
Fucking rat. Oh, sweet.
Oh, first try, yeah.
Yeah.
One thing that's kind of weird though is that in all three, like in Morrowind and Oblivion and Skyrim, every one of them has goblins. Skyrim only because of creation kit stuff. They all look different. In Morrowind, you only find them when you go to one of the DLC areas, not Frostfell. Or not Solstheim. It's the one where you go to like the Dark Elf capital.
Oh,
Tribunal.
yeah.
And you like find like underneath the city, you find like a cave full of like goblins, and they're like more like short orcs in appearance, kind of like look. And like these ones are like the tall, like skinny ones, you know. And then in the Christian Kit one for Skyrim, they look more like Reeklings that are green.
Basically, somebody used the.
Yeah, it basically like. Yeah.
Pillaged mine, limeworks, something or other.
I keep looking at the wrong one. I'm just looking at the Twitch one. And yeah, I believe dots do stack over time. Or stack together. Which, you know what dot means, right? In
Damage
relation
over-
to spells.
Damage over time.
Okay, good. It's like I have to catch myself doing that sometimes.
Well,
I'll say something and be like, more normal people don't know what I'm fucking talking about because you're not a fucking game reader.
Well, no, you gotta realize the issue. I work with tires. DOT means Department of Transportation.
Oh yeah.
So I'm like, video game, think.
Dot for me means like drain
Damn.
spells, like something like that. Damage over time.
Yeah.
So it's like
Yeah, it's like that.
it's like an old MMO term that like that's where it started at.
Yeah, no, that's why I was like, there was that split second where you're like, oh, he doesn't know what it means. Like, no, my brain's going, no, it's not this one. It's,
Yeah, actually, like damage, like okay, the most cost-effective spells from Oblivion are spells that do a little bit of damage over a long period of time. Like that's the most, like you'll get real cheap spells doing that. Like that's it's usually like the best healing spells to do. Because you just cast it once during combat and you just have like a slow heal.
And that's why you're a dumb goblin. He literally lunged at me, I walked around and set off the log trap and killed him with it.
Killed him. Yep.
Oh, fuck.
Shoot and miss. Really, just like right over his shoulder.
Hey, I have never been the spellcasting type that targets people.
And yeah. And honestly, because of the amount of this I play and like the general mods that are added to nearly all of them, my aim for stuff is getting real bad too because I'm used to the lock-on mod.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm so not used to aiming anymore in those games. And honestly, I prefer not having to because it makes combat more interesting. And like From Software games do it, so it's not even that big a deal. But like the main issue I have is like when I see like those giant mods where it's like, look, I made Dark Souls in Skyrim. It's like, no, thank you. I'll just go play regular Dark Souls.
Yeah, no, I don't
I
like
play
when
Skyrim to play Skyrim.
Yeah, I don't like when
I can
people.
understand making the combat a little more interesting, but like, don't turn it into a different game.
Yeah. Or like for like I understand like where it's like, oh, I made Geralt in this game. It's like that's cool. I like that you used the game system to make another character from a different game.
I mean, how many times would you done this?
Not really.
Okay. I'm like,
Usually I tend to try to make Kuthar, which
yeah.
now with the reboot of that campaign coming up, it's like that presents a new task of how do I build him? I mean, obviously not much changes, but with the maneuvers, like, okay, spells, I guess, which
Yeah.
basically,
Like,
yeah.
yeah, stuff like that. Where like the main reason I play From Software games is a combination of the background lore, which is like, you know, kind of the same reason I play Elder Scrolls games, which for Dark Souls and Elden Ring and stuff like that, it's so unobtrusive and like not a thing a normal person encounters. There are multiple YouTube channels that have made a career off of doing it.
Oh, I know.
Just like Elder Scrolls.
I think you were the one that got me onto
Vati?
no, Shadowcast.
Oh, then also
For
I'd
Fallout.
recommend, oh yeah, if you want to do From Software stuff, look at Vati Video. Like he's really good for that.
Okay.
But build variety is like the main key thing you want for these kind of games. To the point where, like, From Software, like, I don't really want to play Sekiro because you play one character with a limited number of tools.
Yeah.
And like I play From Software games for like, and like RPGs in general, just for like the build variety. And okay, like you've heard like all this shit I've like told you about like Elden Ring, of like how like fucking crazy it is and shit like that.
Yep.
Like how big the world is. That is not Hayao Miyazaki's fully realized game.
Oh, I know. I saw that post from somebody about
Where
that.
it's like he's like, I am so close to making the perfect game, and people are like, holy fucking shit. It's like, and it has been discussed that what he wants to do is make an open world RPG akin to Elder Scrolls using his combat styles.
Oh.
And I'm like, if you could do that, I think I might never play a different game again. Like, combining the two, like, open world exploration of, like, Elder Scrolls and, like, other open RPGs in with, like, build variety of, like, From Software games. Be like, yep, I'm done. This is the one game I'm playing forever. I mean, I already kind of have a game like that with Skyrim.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, big surprise, I'm playing Skyrim again, guys. But yeah, like, just like even like there's a quote from God, who's the guy who runs Steam?
Fuck.
Gabe Newell. That immersion is not realism; it is responses to player interactions. Like, you want things to respond to what the player is doing. That is how you build immersion. It's not realism in the sense of, like, you have to do realistic things to get realistic actions. It's, like, responses to what the player is doing. Like, you shoot something, it falls over, or explodes, or, like, you know, you do this, and this happens. Like, that's what immersion actually means in a video game. And it's the idea that immersion in real life is not fun. And in the sense, like, where it's, you basically kind of have to pull apart a lot of, like, what makes something real to make it fun. Are you going to the castle or something? Or what are you doing? Like, if you keep going down that road, you're going to get to one of the DLC places. I hate how fucking slow this match goes.
Yep.
Like, that's as fast as you can go, right?
Yep.
Oh, God. They did such a much better job in the other games. Like, yeah, you could really tell that this was the first UI they made for consoles. Because, like, all the other games are really dedicated to PC. Oblivion was the first one made for consoles.
Yeah, and I think we talked about it when setting this up. I prefer the map for Oblivion versus Skyrim because I don't like the 3D.
Oh, yeah, like the flat down. Yeah, that's a much preferred style. Like, it's more realistic in that, like, it's me floating above the world looking down. It's like, I'd rather just look at a map. Which is why, like, the one mod list I've been playing now, it's like, it has those.
Ah, what the fuck?
Wolf. Repeating sound loops. But yeah, those rooms right down there, that's like the Iliad style.
Yeah.
It's got like the white marble, and it's got the statue in the middle.
Sir, what are you doing?
That's an officer of the law.
I know. He's not on a path.
Looking for criminals. Which the ones I believe that have the stairs down usually have a way to get in.
Yeah. Oh. All right.
Also, before are you wrapping up?
Yep.
Then before we're wrapping up, there's one thing you might notice by not noticing it. There are no Dwemer ruins in Oblivion.
Yeah, that's I noticed that.
Because there was no Dwarven nation in Cyrodiil. Remember, it was like all in Skyrim and
Morrowind, like the northern.
Ardenfell, or yeah, Morrowind. Ardenfell's the island. Which is kind of like weird that they called it Morrowind, and Vardenfell is the island.
Yeah.
Did you save it?
Yeah. I mean, I can.
You're also talking to a person who like will impulsively save. Because I've been hurt before playing Elder Scrolls games. It's like I lost it's like losing multiple hours of play because of a crash. Sometimes it's like.
Trust me, the amount of times I've played, pretty much just general games where it's like.
Yeah.
It's like, Fallout's a good one where like I'm just.
Oh yeah.
Running off in a random direction and don't
Which is
save.
why I don't like the survival save mechanic for Fallout 4. It's like, thank you, I'd rather not have a sleep-dependent save on a game that can randomly crash.
Yeah.
It's like, no thank you. It's like, because it's the idea. It's like you can make no mistakes in that game and still like have to redo stuff because the game just crashed.
Yeah. So.
Though I'll be honest, like Bethesda is getting better at making more stable games.
Well, especially because they're now a part of Microsoft. Yeah. All right. I'll catch everybody tomorrow. I don't know when I'm going to be streaming because I've decided to not do Pathfinder Kingmaker just because I realize I'm like, because I'm doing Oblivion, we're doing Project Zomboid, and we're doing
more RPGs.
Yeah, it's like I'm probably gonna end up doing like Borderlands or maybe Fallout 4, just to work on getting the achievements. But like, I realized that like I have too many RPGs going on. So,
yeah. I mean, look at your desktop. Half of those are RPGs, if not more.
Yeah. So.
Let's see.
Alright.
Are you gonna be raiding anyone?
Yeah, I rated out. Geek Girl. So.